Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
Yes, we are back. What's going on, Mission Pro fam? We are back with life after WrestleMania weekend. Not all of us got to go to Vegas, but a lot of us got to watch WrestleMania and all of the crazy stuff that was around WrestleMania weekend. What a spectacle. And to cover most of it, because I think it's literally impossible to cover everything that went down this past week, but we're going to try. I am, of course, Myndrunner, aka Frio, and with me is the most deadly lady with a kendo stick flag in the house and possible future GM for United 210. I'm talking about, of course, Angel Marie.
Hey guys, yeah, that is true. I am a freaking hopefully future United 2.0 general manager. It is so crazy. I'll be at the United show tomorrow, and I'll also be at RCW Mania on Sunday. So you see me, say hey,
Come up and say hey and show your support for the greatest wrestling GM yet to come. Future GM, thank you, not Jenna Winna. Absolutely fantastic. Show your support. And of course, as Pepe always says, stay hydrated.
Yeah, this isn't even water. This is tea, but I don't care.
This ain't water. as the kids say. What a great time. So much going on. Obviously,
yes.
There were some great women's matches, not only at WrestleMania, but also at NXT Stand and Deliver. There was incredible fallout from that. And then the Raw that happened afterwards just really changed. I think it's changing the course of a lot of things. But so much else was going on. There was Bloodsport. There was, AEW had Dynamite last night. There's all kinds of things cooking. And of course, now that WrestleMania is over, AEW is going to start stepping up their game to prepare for Y'all In, Texas, All In, which I personally, myself with the Dynamite Download crew, we will, and Full Tilt Dev, we will be in attendance. So that's going to be pretty cool. Yay! So without further ado, let's get right to it because there's so much to get to. Let's get to the women's wrestling news. I don't know how journalists do it. Emily May, she's the she is the Tri-Bay chief. I forgot what we called her, but
Tribal Bay.
On it. Tribal Bay, Veda Scott, all of the, Sam Laterna. There's so many great veterans of women's wrestling, journalism, and coverage. So much to cover, but we got to start off with the spectacle itself. And yes, Iyo Sky, as I hoped, I can't say predicted because I predicted they were going to not do it, but
yeah,
she was pained in an incredible three-way match between her and Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Fantastic match. Angel Marie, was this the right decision? Are you happy for finally the respect Iyo is getting? And what's next for her, which probably in the next couple slides we're going to get to.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yes, 100 times a yes. This was the right decision, or at least in my mind and a lot of people's minds, I believe this is the right decision. I honestly, I wanted Iyo to win. I didn't know if it was going to happen. I really hoped that they would, and they did. And I'm so happy for WWE for, making the decision to actually keep her as champion because, I don't know, it didn't make sense with just throwing Rhea in there already. And then I couldn't really see Bianca getting another title with the whole shenanigans that are going on. So I'm just really proud of Iyo. And I think that this is deserved. Without Raw, I don't know where she would have been, placed or who I would want to see her face. But honestly, I would just want to see her face anyone and everyone and win. Because, I mean, she's Iyo Sky, man.
Oh,
come on.
Shut the front door, of course. And
Yeah.
Pepe is absolutely correct. Don't sleep on Iyo Sky. She's tremendous. I love that they made this decision. The whole storyline too was don't forget about Iyo. Even her little face point thing. I mean, that's like they kept mushing her face and she drop kicked them. So I thought that was fantastic. What a great celebration. It was such a feel good moment. And of course, then Raw happened, and we kind of got answers about what's next. Iyo comes out, and she does a great, just feel-good promo. And then, yeah, I mean, by the way, that's our version on Spotify. Make sure you check it out. Stephanie Vicaire comes out, and, like, the whole place pops. She gets in the ring, and of course, what's cool is like unlike Rhea and Bianca, Vicaire shows respect to Iyo, but she wants peace. She wants the match, and what's his face, Toolbag McGee, what's his name, came out and said, "All right, we're gonna have this right now." Who's the Raw GM? I keep forgetting his name.
What did you call him?
Toolbag McGee. What is his name?
What the heck? Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, Adam Pearce. I just, there's a lot of names. Anybody.
There is.
I was more excited because I didn't want him, because I thought he was coming down to shut down and say, no, we're gonna have this match at such and SummerSlam or something like that. No.
Yeah.
They had that right now. They had the match, and it was incredible, but some people were hating.
Interfered.
And, she's family. She's a little heelish right now. But our girl Roxy shows up and interferes. And who is her new favorite? She ditched one girl with purple hair to now be BFFs with apparently another girl with purple hair, Julia. Roxy got thrown out pretty easily because, of course, my brutality comes down. The mommy is in the house. Mommy's regulating like she's coming home. Like she's now finally noticing the kids have messed up the kitchen. And now she's in and she's going to throw the chocolate at everybody. She came down, regulated. But this little stare down between Rhea and Julia. What did you think of that, Angel? And what do you think of this whole segment?
Oh my gosh. Insane. in one word, one word, if I could describe it, I would probably say insane. But even insane doesn't do it justice. This was a very much a sequence of events. I was not expecting any of it, especially we go from Stephanie. I am so shocked by Stephanie coming out because, oh my goodness, I freaking love her so much. And then we go to Rox and then Julia and then Rhea. I'm like, pause. I was freaking out at Julia. I still haven't even fully processed that. And now we're bringing everyone else in. Okay, join the party. Yeah. Confusion.
And, the underlying theme of tonight's episode is life after Mania, because now we're moving forward past Mania weekend. I'm going to recant a lot of stuff I've said in the past just because at this point, I was really complaining about they got it. What are they going to do with Roxy? Is she going to be on NXT or main roster? They need to make up their mind. At this point, y'all just cook, because I'm going to leave you alone in the kitchen, because if we're going to get moments like this and then stuff on NXT, like, I'm totally cool with it. I thought I think this is going to be great. Stephanie Vicaire then again, took on Roxy. Vicaire is continuing to be, of the three major names that NXT brought in, respectfully, Vicaire I think has been the best payoff. But Julia and Zarya have been fantastic. And I would even put Jordan Grace in there too. Eventually we're going to get Jordan Grace versus Mommy at some point. That's happening.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
And Miss Parker, let's bring her in the mix. I love that moment at the end too. After Mommy cleaned house, it was almost like nobody gets to beat up Iyo except me. It's like she said this, and she said, "I'm still coming for this. This is for what's mine." But she did. She finally showed respect to Iyo. I thought that was a great moment. I thought that, after all these jackals are coming after her, Rhea, who kind of understands what it's like, that when you're at the top, everyone's gunning for you. I thought that was a fantastic moment. And I thought this was great. Let's know in the chat, what did you think of this fallout? Sensory overload. I agree. Angel and I were talking about this. It was like boom, boom. It was almost like the entire women's division for the next couple months was flashing in our eyes, and it was just we were loving every minute of it.
Yes.
Dennis says your new name is Angel Pierce, so she's going to be GM. I love it.
Angel Pierce is crazy.
I like Angel Pierce better than Angel Aldous. That Angel Aldous sounds like a disease.
What about? Oh my God! Wait, why does it? Oh, it is actually. I just thought about it. Why does it actually sound like a disease?
Angel Aldous. Well, we've got Angel Aldous sounds like one of those prescriptions, those random prescription ads that they see. You have you need Angel Aldous to clear up your marking
something like that. No, like that's crazy. Honestly, what about Angel DeVille? Or would that be too cliche?
Angel DeVille. I like Angel DeVille. Angel Paxley, Angel DeVille works great because especially now that Daria is no longer Sonya, I think Angel DeVille is open.
Wait,
Angel DeVille,
you're so right. Oh my gosh.
Shoot a message
let me
to
cook.
Daria and see if she's cool with it. But yeah, I think that's great. Let's talk about the roller coaster that is being a fan of the Bird Lady. One of the coolest. Now, there's some controversy behind the scenes about this, and I'll bring this up in a second. But let's talk about it from a fan perspective that knows nothing, which pretty much is most of us, knows nothing about behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So Becky was supposed to tag team with Lyra and win the championship, but then she was taken out by Liv and Raquel, allegedly. So instead, who became her tag team partner to win the titles at WrestleMania was the man herself, Becky Lynch. And there was great rejoicing, huge pop. She comes out to the whoa. Everybody's excited. They win. Great moment. I don't know what Lyra was wearing, the bird costume. It was
it was so freaking beautiful. Literally, I just want to say real quick, the wings were so beautiful. I've literally sketched out a design for my friend because she wants to go by Phoenix, the last name Phoenix when she starts wrestling. And so I literally sketched out a design for an entrance jacket, and I literally have wings that are exactly like that, just in different colors. So I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna turn into Lyra.
She's gonna be the Phoenix Lyra. Well, just like the Phoenix rises from the ashes, heel Becky rose from the ashes here, and they lost the titles at Raw back to old Liv and Raquel, and Becky turned on Lyra. Rumors are Becky's going to be the first female to join Paul Heyman's crew, obviously with Seth Rollins there too. Your thoughts on this betrayal, and do you think this is now, and do you think this is elevating Lyra as the Intercontinental Champion and giving her the spotlight and storyline she needs?
Okay, there's a lot to unpack with this. First off, I want to go back to the WrestleMania match. I was happy that Becky came back, but I was really upset that they just gave Lyra and Becky the titles, because if you think about it, Lyra and Becky do have the backstory, the chemistry, all that, and I think they might have tagged once. But I'm literally getting to that, and it was so strange because Liv and Raquel have been tagging for how long now?
Yeah.
And they lose to this made-up tag team, which most people, because I didn't even realize it. I was like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they never tagged up before. But then my friend figured it out, and he was like, "Oh no, like they did," and I was like, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah, but not as
I couldn't remember that.
Yeah.
It was so unmemorable that I literally I forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously stuck out in your head, not. Sorry,
Yeah,
that was
so,
a T.O. Frio joke. I'm sorry.
it's a good characteristic. It's a good characteristic of the show. And so I was just like really confused. I was like, well, why did we just give them the titles? And then the fact that they won, that Liv and Raquel won them back, I was okay with that, just because, you know, since I didn't want them to lose the titles in the first place, since I got them back, I was like, that's okay. But it did feel pretty stupid. Like, that was like so weird. I was like, how do you lose and win the titles back? Like, that just kind of looks bad on them a little bit. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's weird. As long as they have the titles back, I guess. I don't know.
But Frio to try to make this seem a little bit better. Maybe put a little sunshine on the darkness that is the betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is actually designed to elevate Lyra. I think this is designed to help her, because let's be honest, Chelsea Green took the we're all in her service. Chelsea Green took the U.S. title, and she's running with it. She's tremendous, which is why she didn't have a match. I don't know, but the Intercontinental thing hasn't quite had the sparkle. And you and I both were talking about last week the frustration about having a thrown together tag team where one of them is a champion already where it's kind of hogging the spotlight of existing tag teams. And so it was kind of convoluted, and I didn't understand. And it's not our story to tell, it's Bayley's story to tell. I recommend checking out her interview with Chris Van Vliet on YouTube if you get a chance. Bayley's interview. She talks a lot of stuff. She doesn't exactly say, but she does kind of she hints that maybe she might be she possibly, when her contract is up in a year and a half or so, she may be considering All Elite. Which would be interesting, because that's where Mercedes is. So, but it was a lot of the rumors were that, at the last minute they told Bayley to go sit in catering, and they brought in Becky. Whatever.
That's unfortunate.
That's rumor. We don't know. Whatever happened. I think this is an attempt to elevate the storyline, because now you've got a legit tag team between Liv and Raquel, and we'll talk about some of their next matchups. Obviously, there was one that we were kind of hoping would beat them, but they didn't. But yeah, I think we can write this off as storyline. They're trying to help Lyra get a little bit of a storyline going and really make her the baby face that she already is. So hopefully we'll see what happens. Maybe Bayley's going to get involved. We shall see. But let's move on. Let's talk about the tag team champions. You got a chance to watch NXT. It was awesome. And again, I love Chemical X, Tatum and Gigi. They wrestle like they've been a tag team for years. They have the like, they're twins. Like, they have the chemistry in the ring. I dare say is similar to like the Hardys, like Edge and Christian. Like they work in tandem so well. They're very creative with a lot of their moves, and they have the personality. And I feel like Gigi is like the marshmallows in Tatum's hot chocolate. It's like they balance each other very well. They didn't get the W, but because of course it's Liv and Raquel, super heels. But I predict gold around Chemical X's waist, especially if a certain tank driving green haired bandit returns at some point.
And she did technically return.
Technically, but I think she needs to be much more aggressive in their mix. And then I think we have the next tag team challengers in sights. Your thoughts, Chemical X, Liv and Raquel, and Zaruka.
Yeah, like exactly what you just said. Chemical X is so good in the ring. Dare I say, like one of the best, if not the best, women's tag teams currently. Like, oh my gosh, they're so freaking amazing. Like you said, their chemistry is on peak. They're they are something else. And it is unfortunate that they did lose, but I mean, we kind of had that coming, you know. Yeah, it was kind of to be expected. But that's also why I was upset that they took away the NXT tag titles, because I could so see them being the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, and I'm like, what? Like, come on, like bring back those championships so we can give them more screen time and give them something to like really fight for instead of the Women's Tag Team Championships that like haven't gone back down to NXT in like forever. I mean, technically, they've been like they've been fought for on NXT, but they haven't actually had like an NXT team hold them in a hot second. So I really wish that we could have that.
And sure. It's always been kind of it continues to blur that line, like, you know, Metaphor and, you know, the Unholy Union before they split them in half and sent one of them packing. You know, it's like we have legit tag teams out there, so it's time. And I think maybe what's happening right now is maybe Shawn Michaels and them are testing the waters to see if it's time to bring them back. But by bringing Liv and Raquel, Trios title.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I mean, if they do a Trios title, it's got to go to Chemical X, or Chemical X versus Fallon Henley's crew. There would be. And
cool. Apparently they might be splitting up soon. So
yeah, it could be. I know they're involved in some TNA action. Let's talk about Tiffany's teeth.
It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy teeth time. The Tooth Fairy was happy with this match. All right, let's talk about Tiffy time versus Charlotte. Your thoughts overall? Was this a bit of a shoot match? And do you think who came out of this, regardless of who won, who came out of this looking good? Is Sabrina Carpenter?
Sabrina Carpenter. I love that. Okay, I had to put that up. First off, the gear was cute. And then second off, I didn't really get to watch this match too much, but from what I did see and what I heard that people were throwing around the term sandbagging. I don't really know. I can't really speak for that, as I barely got to watch the match, so but I am happy that Tiffy didn't lose any teeth, because she put on her story, she was like, guys, all my teeth are fine. So apparently she did not really lose a tooth. So,
well, I think she may have lost a crown. Like, I think she
probably
didn't lose any teeth.
Like a veneer.
Yeah. She's got all of her teeth. She chipped a tooth during the match.
Oh, okay.
She chipped a tooth during the match when her face hit Flair's knee brace while attempting a moonsault. It was minor, and it was a cosmetic fix, so she was fine. Kind of like, in Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber, he could take he's got a little veneer thing. He puts a cap,
yes.
He takes it off to look all. Yeah, I think that's what happened. That looked gnarly. I think it added to the brutality of them. Yeah, and of course the teeth. She also had a nice shiner on her forehead too.
Mm-hmm.
Pepe said,
looked like she went to war.
I think she did. Does this add legitimacy a bit to Tiffy? And do you feel like maybe there's a bit of a method to the madness with Charlotte here?
I feel like that's a Charlotte question to ask. Is there a method to your madness? I feel like that's more of a direct question to Charlotte.
Well, you think about it this way, and I'm just going to put this out there. I don't know. Charlotte gets a lot of heat. Charlotte, there's a lot of rumors and stuff. Oh, she's sandbagging us. She thinks of herself. But look at Tiffany now. She literally cut her teeth on this match. I think going forward, she's going to be taken a little more seriously. I do think Charlotte exposed some areas of opportunity for Tiffany to step up on. But
for sure,
I thought this was the right decision. I like how WWE stood by her, and moving forward, I thought this was a good decision. But we'll see what happens moving forward on this whole matchup. I gotta talk to allow me. I know you didn't watch any of this, so allow me just a little bit of your time to share with you what else was going on during WrestleMania weekend. There was this little thing called Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, and there were a lot of women's matches in this, but I want to highlight two women's matches that now the thing with Bloodsport is and I like that they keep it vague. Is it a shoot? Is it a work? This is the most shoot worked kayfabe-ish, maybe not kind of match. There's no ring posts, and it's like basically it's like MMA, but what is it? Is it shoot? Whatever. But we had legit Layla Hirsch. Just remember, her granddad's a gentleman. And Jordan Blade. Both are in Mission Pro alumni. Our girl Jordan was in there, the daddy of the district. Her chops and strikes are unreal. But Layla Hirsch, she's legit. And she don't sleep on her because don't let her size fool you. Because she'll break your ankle off in a heartbeat. If you get a chance, and unless you got the pay-per-view, you can't really get the full thing, but you can see a lot of the clips online. This was every bit as worthy of a main event at a major pay-per-view. The back and forth that these two ladies put, the hurt that these ladies put on each other. I'm surprised nobody lost a tooth in this one. Legit Layla was great, and there were some brutal strikes that Jordan Blade was just like she was putting, like she's on top of her, she's just driving these like cross armbar kind of things, but really it was like she was punching the hell out of her there. But the coolest moment, and you got to find the clip, is Jordan Blade's getting the upper hand, beating the crap out of her. There was one moment, you can see on the left, where Layla's putting in an arm bar, and Jordan Blade's like, screw this, basically stands up, picks her up, and
goodness,
drops her. But this great moment right towards the end, this is what actually got Layla the win, was Jordan ran at her for a strike. Layla turns it into a brutal power slam, knocks the wind out. I mean, essentially knocked Jordan out. And then,
gosh.
You see in the bottom middle, that's like Jordan had, that's at right after the slam, the power slam. Layla's just wailing on her, and the ref had to stop the match and throw in the towel. And I mean, Jordan was like, what just happened? I was winning, and now bam. But the coolest thing was this moment right there. Game recognizing game. I want them to run this back. I want this at Mission Pro. I want to see this. And now that legit Layla's a free agent, I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for her. I think this was fantastic, and I loved every minute of it. How familiar are you with Layla and with Jordan Blade? Of course, part of the Mission Pro family. I highly recommend that you check this out. Are you interested in Bloodsport? Have you heard of Bloodsport?
Up until this point, I think I heard of it like once before, but I'm like definitely not familiar at all. I know what GCW is, but
GCW, every time I think of GCW, I think of Joey Janela trying to die in some way. I mean, it's like it is brutal. Or I think of Nick Gage with the pizza cutter. I think that just all the craziness. Now, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, that was an incredible opening match, but I think one of the career reshaping defining moments. This was a coming out party, if you will. There was not Natalya, but Natty Neidhart showed up to take on Miyu Yamashita, and let me tell you this, you would have thought she was the spawn of Bret Hart and Kurt Angle. Natty came out, and she was not playing around. She was dressed in black. There was no, she came out to Rage Against the Machine. Now, those of you that are familiar with Miyu Yamashita, I mean, if you've seen her, I mean, she's a brutal striker. She is one of the top ladies from Japan. She came out, no stranger to GCW. Natty Neidhart is not Natalya. Natty Neidhart came out, hair braided. I love this version of I love Natty Neidhart is, what the kids like to do with the greater than sign. Natty Neidhart is greater than Natalya. We need to see this Natty in WWE, and if they're not going to do it, send her to AEW, send her to TNA, heck, just have her do more of these matches. It was so great. And again, the pictures don't do it justice. You got to seek these matches out. But after all of this, of course, Natty gets the W. Who should be in the audience but old Kinsey Page? And Kinsey, such a polite girl. She's such a polite sportsman. Yep. She told Natty she's number one.
Yeah, with a certain finger.
Yep. Yeah, yes, Jenna. Now it was awesome. It's like those moments where you're having kind of a boring day at school, you're in the cafeteria, and then you see two girls go, "Oh no, you didn't," and then you see hair flying, and it was a scrap. You see the guy in between them, like just kind of smirking, like he knows what's coming, and they beat the crap at each other. That's of course Natty's going to be Natty's next opponent. It's going to be on site. I'm here for it. Let's book it to the moon, and let's see more. I want more Natty Neidhart in wrestling. Less Natalya, more Natty Neidhart. So let's so check out Bloodsport. That's Tio Frio's rant. I'll stop there. Just really quickly too. Just want to talk about. I gotta go back. Okay. Last night. AEW, Chris Statlander versus Jamie Hayter. Excellent match, fantastic match. There was a great spot where Stat was doing her flip off the apron and Jamie pulled a Samoa Joe nope and just walked away. It was pretty cool. But it definitely looks like it's Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Mone at Double or Nothing. The winner, of course, is going to take on Toni Storm at Y'all In. And Toni Storm is just killing me with her commentary. She's fantastic. I love her. But and I think there's a qualifying match, and I think some people, and even Simon Miller, I think kind of got it wrong. Queen Aminata is taking on Toni Storm in a eliminator match. It's kind of one of those exhibition matches, but if you win, you might get a title shot down. You can get a title shot, but it's not a title shot itself. So, but Queen Aminata is going to take on Toni Storm at Collision this weekend. I think that's crazy. But, yeah, Mercedes Mone for Jamie Hayter. I predict Jamie's going to come out on top with this because I have a feeling a certain fallen goddess is not forgotten. And I think that's what we're building for. Are you excited? Is AEW starting to cook with their women's division, you think, Angel?
I mean, definitely. I mean, it looks like it. I mean, just with this match alone, honestly, banger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really do want to see that certain fallen goddess, face off with Mercedes.
Plug it into our veins. Please. Also, the Future Legends Tournament. Look at how many Mission Pro familiar faces do you see just on the poster? Right here, there's top tier actually at the bottom. She should have been at the top. Look at all these people. Of course, Zeta Steel. We don't talk about her. Actually, we're gonna have to talk a lot about her, but she's rubbing somebody the wrong way. We'll get to that in a moment. Yeah. And but there's Carol. I love that Carolina Cruz.
Yes.
Is in Kaya Dream, Brooke Havoc, Brittany Brooks, Jada the Spark Stone, and Maya World, everybody, and Maggie Lee, and it was such a tremendous showing. But there could be only one champion, And ladies and gentlemen, it is the person that was by Chris Bay's side, and she is legit. And we're talking about Brittany Brooks is your future Legends champion. Look at that smile. We got to get her back. We got to get both of these ladies back. Your future Legends champion and your new reality of wrestling champion, Kaya Dream. Kaya moves to Texas, and look what happens. Look, Brittany and Kaya are rising stars. Look at them kicking ass. What are your thoughts, Angel? Angel
Oh my goodness. I am so happy. Honestly, I was going to say exactly what Jenna just said. Thank you. So deserved. And, you know, that's just so freaking awesome that, like, you know, Brittany, like, she did have a little bit of a setback. She did have a knee injury for a little while. She was out, and now she's back, and she is thriving. Honestly, I'm so happy for her, and I'm also so happy for Kaya. I don't know why I always say Kia.
Right, I get Lyra. I'm good. Yeah, I do it too. It's all good.
I don't know. It's crazy. It is specifically with Kaya. Like oh my gosh. I feel so bad because we've had her on the show too. I'm sorry, Kaya. I love you.
Well, I think her shoot name is Nakaya. So maybe
I don't know.
Nakia, but well, regardless, Kaya Dream, fantastic. Both of them deserve. Yes, Bobby, we agree. Love it. Two awesome champions. And I'm looking forward to their continued reign. I hope long may their reign be very cool stuff. I thought it was fantastic. And also this past weekend, the Iconics. The Iconic Mums, they're still kind of going by the Inspiration with two eyes. But I mean everybody knows them as the Iconics. Were you ever much of an Iconic fan when they were in WWE?
Was I ever much of an Iconic fan? You gotta be joking, mate.
Of course I was. You got it right. Yes. You gotta be ask me, did I do journalism for this?
Oh my god.
Did you go to journalism for that?
Did you do journalism just to do accents?
Yeah. You gotta be joking me. Yes.
You gotta be joking me.
I've wanted their return so bad, and I don't care where they end up or if they just continue to do indie shows. They're so much fun. If you ever had a chance to check out their Off Your Chops podcast, it's fantastic. The chemistry they have together are just hilarious, and I always saw them as like the Romy and Michelle of wrestling, and that's why I found that Photoshop. It's pretty cool. The Iconic Mums. They both have had their kid. Actually, Cassie's got two. And, and Jesse's got one. And they're still, even after having their babies, they're still iconic. And I hope we see a lot more of them in going forward. And I hope they really steer into that iconic comedy kind of, you know, that's what I love. Like, if you ever saw that tag elimination chamber match where they were mocking everybody till the doors opened and Nia Jax and Tamina got to them. It was you gotta check that out. It's fantastic.
I love them.
Jenna says you and the two of you are going to be iconic in the future.
Oh my goodness!
The Iconic Angels. That might work. There you go.
Okay. Wait, but then how would we incorporate Jenna's name into it?
Well, she'll have to become an in it. Is she Jenna Winna? What is her thing? Well, yeah, Rami and Michelle.
Eli Anna. What if we name her Eli Anna?
There you go. We'll come up with something like that.
It's an inside joke.
I love it. I think that's fantastic. But we'll have to come up with all kinds of stuff. But it is now time for us to give an update. Here is look at Izzy entered the battle after Natty Neidhart.
Oh my gosh!
I went back. I went one slide over. So Izzy had her opportunity to enter the WWE ID tournament. and didn't quite come up with the W thanks to a certain Zeta Steel. Your thoughts on this? Apparently, it's on site now with Izzy and Zeta. I mean, on a shoot, she's getting a storyline, but kayfabe, Zeta,
Yeah, I just not a BFF. No. But yeah, that is honestly really, really sad. I honestly thought she would have made it in the tournament, but I mean, she probably would have. Seriously, she probably would have. Don't mess with the BFF, Zeta. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Izzy might look extremely freaking nice and extremely happy, which she really is. She's so nice. We love Izzy here. But not unless you get on her bad side, which you just did, Zeta. You just cost her opportunity to be in the WWE ID Championship tournament. Do you know how she's gonna feel? She's gonna be pissed off. So, Zeta, you dug yourself into a hole, I fear.
On site. It's gonna be tough. It's kind of like I want to get that chart. Actually, you know what? Maybe I could get that. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna see if I could download this. But yeah, Zeta was messing her up. You know what? I'll do that next time. But like, imagine this was my chart. Here's the F around. Here's the find out, and Zeta is now here. So you don't. That's not how you become a BFF. Yes, she'll be on WWE Evolve too. Izzy, I love it. Izzy's getting the recognition that she's getting, and as much as we want her to finish the story, both with Mercedes, I think with Bayley also, I think that would be cool. But I want to say that even though we do the the wacky inflatable arm stuff, she really has become her own persona. The whole BFFs and everything is great.
Yeah.
And she's a great babyface wrestler, but she's legitimized herself. She's our Mission Pro champion, of course. But I think I really want we celebrate her victories because every time she advances or she gets these opportunities, I feel like we're with her because she was like a fan that put in the work. I mean, and she continues to put in the work. She's constantly hitting the weights, hitting the training, hitting the about it more than anybody about she's at Hybrid, or when she's in town. She
used to be going to Hybrid. Now she goes to I forgot the name of it. It's in Florida. I mean, hopefully soon if she isn't already. But it's the one that's not Ace Austin, Ace of Steel.
Jenna has a match that they need to book.
Oh my goodness, that is Mercedes and Zeta versus Bayley and Izzy. That is insane. I don't know how that would happen. But wait, we did say that Bayley may or may not not renew.
Her contract is up in a year and a half, but if you go check out Chris Van Vliet's interview, she's leaving the door open for a lot of opportunities. I don't think she's, because Bayley's such a positive person in real life, even though the ding dong thing was a great heel turn.
Ding dong.
She is. I could see her going to AEW. And I think that would be a great place for Izzy to finish the story, especially. I mean, all in is the perfect opportunity. I mean, let's make it happen. Let's see, but so much going on. I mean, we're trying to cover so many things. We've said it. We want to see Izzy and Mercedes have that match come full circle. And I think it'll be tremendous. Also, just some Mission Pro news. We're continuing to move along without getting into details. Things are in the works. I'm not going to say that there's not a definite date of a return as of yet, but the cogs are moving. There's a lot more. Those of you that are familiar with running a wrestling promotion, there's a lot involved. So a lot of stuff going on. So before before Mission Pro makes its triumphant return, there's a lot of pieces that need to get repaired and put back in place and switched and moved around, all that kind of stuff. You know it is. But when Mission Pro returns, you'll be the first to know Mission Pro fam, because you'll hear it here when Mission Pro returns. You'll hear it from, you may not even hear it from us. You may hear it from a surprise guest that, is from the graveyards of Tijuana, may pop on and make that announcement. So looking forward to it. I would love for it to happen because, there's so many opportunities now. And I think, Mission Pro will once again be that, as it always has been, that bright spotlight, if you will, on women's wrestling. Well,
see what you did there.
I mean, you know what I did? I'm the TO. I do. But to close out, we gotta go to our pick of the week, and I just have to. This is the best. We do have. Before we get to that, we do have a report. We need to play this when we bring Tommy on. We need to bring on Tommy and play that.
Oh my gosh! Yes, you're such a genius. Please, we need to make that. We're making that happen. Shh! No one tell him. Nobody tell him.
Yeah, don't tell Tommy. But Tommy, we're working on Tommy being on this next week. A lot of guests popping back on now that we're post Mania. And I'm done with my surgery and we got everything going on. I think that we've got a lot of cool stuff coming. Yes, Jenna, we love that picture, by the way. That was fantastic. We love that you got to see. I wish, we should have put that in the mix, but that's my fault. That slides together. I forgot. RCW Mania and Angel Marie, you're going to be there. How excited are you about RCW Mania? And the Chica Espicosa is going to be there.
Yeah, how excited am I about RCW Mania? Is there even an answer to that? Like, extremely excited, super excited, super califragilistic question mark? All the words to describe it. I am so excited because, I have a big wrestling weekend this weekend. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I will be at United 210, and then I'll be going to RCW Mania on Sunday. So, for RCW, I know for sure the women's matches, it's going to be Callie and Alejandra, and that's going to be insane. I mean, come on, it's Alejandra Quintanilla. And I mean, Callie, we'll see if there's still a question mark next to RCW Women's Champion after this match.
It's the unification, right? Are they unifying the titles?
I believe that is what they're doing, yeah. I'm pretty sure. If Callie wins,
Callie needs to put a big chili pepper on the front of her. A spinning chili pepper on the front of her title. Go full Cena.
Oh my goodness.
Italian Cena. That's what she needs to come out to.
No, but her entrance right now is so good. We can't switch the entrance. Yeah, it's so good. Fuego by AP Quintanilla and the Cumbia Kings.
Yeah.
So good. I don't know. That also might just be because I'm a Mexican.
No, it's fire. It's true fire.
It's fire. Oh, okay. I'm done with the stupid jokes. All right, tone it down. No, I'm kidding. And we also have Emmy Camacho going against the sensational savage Ridley Thorne. And oh my goodness. I know there's a Ridley fan in the chat. I'm a big Ridley fan, but that's also a big Ridley fan. And then not to forget, actually, Celine Hysteria is going to be challenging Kaya Dream, got the name right, I believe she's challenging her for the RCW, oh my goodness. ROW. We're going to get it. ROW Diamonds Championship. So that's going to be so fun. I believe she is defending it. So unless they're just having a match together, I don't know.
Well, you have to bear with Tio Frio. There was so much news to cover, and it only let me upload a certain number of slides, and I had to get our pick of the weekend. So it was either going to put that or pick of the week. But yeah, this RCW Mania is going to be fantastic. I don't know if it's on Title Match Network or not, but you're going to be there live on location, possibly maybe getting some candid interviews. Maybe bring the microphone, bring the camera phone. get some
Maybe.
reactions. Depends on who wins between. See if Callie doesn't win, maybe stay away a little bit. She might be throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, well, I'll just give her my RCW, because I have the RCW Replica Championship, so, I'll just give her that one, and it'll kind of be okay. I mean, it won't be okay, obviously, it's not going to be okay, but it might help a little bit,
Yep, I think that'll
be kind.
Good. Well, be kind, rewind, all of that. Oh, we didn't talk about our banger of the week.
Oh my goodness.
We do have time for that. Before we get to our pick of the week to close out the show, we started talking about WrestleMania, so we might as well finish talking about it, because we've got to talk about our saving the best for last. Our banger of the week for me was great chemistry. I feel like this was the perfect matchup. Let's talk about our banger of the week.
Hold on to your Kulos Mission Pro fans. Lock on, it's the banger of the week.
It ended up being unanimous. I mean, there were a lot of possible choices. I mean, we went back and forth. There's a lot of different possibilities. Tiffany Stratton, match was great. But we got to talk about Naomi and Jade. And with all the criticisms that Jade gets of being, looking fantastic like a superhero, but working stiff in the ring, whatever. Which flush that out of the rumor mill, because not only did both of these ladies put on an incredible show, I felt like this was they had the best dance partners with each other here. This is history making, because this was the only non-title women's match on WrestleMania. Usually they just have the title matches, but this was like one of those. It was like their storyline and their ability in the ring was so good. They didn't need a title to help them get on WrestleMania. They were on WrestleMania because of the work they put in, the Emmy-winning performance that Naomi has put in, and just, the sheer star power, the star-making power of Jade. Angel, take us through this one. Your thoughts on this entire match?
Oh, yes, my goodness. Chicken jockey.
I gotta do my Jack Black. Chicken jockey.
Oh, we're so cooked, guys. We're so cooked. Chicken jockey. Okay. I really can't believe we're talking about chicken jockey on Mission Pro Spotlight. This is why we're such a good podcast, is because we will literally talk about chicken jockeys on here. And what other wrestling podcast is talking about a chicken jockey?
Oh, yeah. But the Young Bucks did it last night too on Dynamite, but that's a totally different thing. The chicken jockey, and if you don't know what a chicken jockey is, I'm sorry that it's now in your head, because now it's going to be everywhere. Yeah. So anyways, tell us about this match, though. Aside from the chicken jockeys, tell us about this incredible match.
Besides the chicken jockey, it was a really great match. Honestly, I think arguably the best women's match of WrestleMania 41. Honestly, in my opinion, it was, oh my goodness, on a different level. And I mean, the story was so deep already, and so just the physicality of this whole match, it was amazing. I loved it. That's why I picked it as banger of the week.
And that's the thing too. Again, you got to give points to the fact that there wasn't a title in line. It was the storytelling. What was on the line was basically justice. And Naomi's, again, a great writing, great storyline here is that she's the best. The best villains are the ones that believe they're right and kind of have a point. Her whole thing was, you stole, Bianca away from me, kind of thing, or you were, it was almost that third wheel thing, where where of course Jade is right because Naomi was wrong for what she did. So I thought this was such a great back and forth, such a great moment. I loved every minute of it. I was leaning towards the trios between Rhea, Bianca, and Iyo, because I just love the ending, the feel good moment there. And the Charlotte versus Tiffy time match, Tiffy Teeth match. Tiffy time.
Gosh.
But this one stands out because I think it didn't need a title on the line to make, and it made WrestleMania, and it wasn't like I challenge you. I'm sure aside from the bots and haters, nobody doubted that this deserved its place. Nobody was saying, "Oh, this should have been on Raw," or "This should have been on SmackDown." Nobody was saying
Grande Americano.
Yeah, well, maybe one or that dude, but we don't have to talk about him,
Yeah, it's a women's wrestling podcast. We can leave the men out of it, except for Myndrunner.
And how dare he do that to Ray Phoenix? But anyways, I thought this was fantastic. I thought both ladies, and again, when you have a dance partner like Naomi is up there with like a Chris Statlander or like a Bailey, where they can put on a banger match with anybody. Naomi, she's Trinity to me. If you saw when she went to TNA for a while before coming back to WWE, she's fantastic. And this was next level. And of course, what's next for Jade? I don't know, but there's so many matchups to see. I'd love to see Jade. I'd love to see maybe even Jade versus Bianca at some point.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see, Jade versus Rhea Ripley would be compelling.
I mean, they're two really big powerhouses. So,
yes.
I mean, their styles would definitely, I feel like they could clash, but at the same time, like they could like definitely go together, if that makes any sense.
I love it. Well, Mission Pro fam, it's been awesome. We're almost at the end of our time. Great stuff. So much more to cover. We love you guys. Tell your friends and family and everybody about us. We love that. Let's make this party even bigger. We want to get the fam in here. Next week, it might be Tommy and Microplastics on here. We'll see. We're working on that. A lot of cool
Old man
guests.
Tommy.
And we do have an exciting announcement that's probably going to come out towards the end of May. We're going to keep it tight-lipped for now, but it's really cool. And if you're a fan of wrestling, of women's wrestling, and if you love wrestling, then you're going to love this new segment that's coming up, or this new thing that's coming. It's going to be a lot of fun. So tell your friends about us. Hit that like, subscribe, share us on the social medias. Let us know. We appreciate the love. We really do. Sometimes we feel like we're just talking into space, but we see you guys in the chat. That means a ton to us. Just like Pepe says, stay hydrated. And we're going to leave you with our pick of the week. I think we need to also show Tommy this pick next week.
Yes.
But taken by Casey Blackrose of Hybrid School of Wrestling fame, among other things. We have a beautiful sleeping a beautiful sleeping pepper. After a long week of being spicy, our pick of the week is La Chica Más Picosa. Like a little
sleep in a car.
Pick of the week goes to, and I love that Angel, you have like the Cali meme, like you have a whole file folder of Cali memes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, if y'all guys don't know, I literally like in my text messages as my like little reactions, because I'm like finding out Callie has a lot of memes. Like she's extremely memeable, but like in the best way possible. I don't mean that in a mean way. Like in the best way possible. So I'm always like, and Jenna literally on Instagram, one of her profile pictures is a meme of Callie that I send her all the time. And so I'm literally, this is like, how many do I have at this point? Like 7?
But never accuse Callie and Tita of sleeping on the job, but she'll sleep on the trip.
Yeah, and I mean that's valid, because I feel like that's like all of us right now after this whole big Mania week. Oh my goodness, it was a lot of wrestling this weekend, but
yeah,
yeah, it was great in the best way possible.
Well, we thought we'd leave you with the pick of the week, and on behalf of Angel Marie, on behalf of Thunder Rosa, and all of the ladies of Mission Pro Wrestling, I am Iyo Frio, and we'll see you. Actually, I have a special show Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Angel may or may not be able to be here. I'll fill it more in, but we have a friend of the show returning to fill us in what she's got going on, and the cool things coming for her. And then, of course, we'll have our usual time Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central. We will see you next week. Have a great, fantastic weekend, and we will see you on the other side.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
So yeah, this was last minute, but